Professor Nalapat, we've been waiting for you eagerly and to understand and learn from you. What would this bilateral mean, considering the fact that there's been so much back and forth that has taken place in the last few weeks when it comes to deportations, when it comes to tariffs, when it comes to geopolitical security, when it comes to wars, when it comes to the Middle East? What's your take on this bilateral, sir?
Look, the fact is that India or any other country is not exempt from any of those tariffs and deportations. The only point is that the percentage of Indian students deported is small, and most of them were deported because they went into altercations with the police. Now, in India, that may be commonplace, but it should not be in the U.S. So I'd like to say that the bulk of those cases are not because of any links to terror organizations. In fact, that's why even the small number surprised me at first. But because of altercations with the police, a lot of them are now under legal process. A lot of them have been temporarily stayed. I would like to tell you, the U.S., like India, is a country governed by the rule of law, and you have a very strong federal and state judiciary, and the students weren't there, and in many cases the police cases were withdrawn. Sometimes police just file, almost without thinking, and if I may say so, that's not the case only with the United States. It happens in some other countries as well. You have to file cases very carefully because a case can have a devastating impact on an individual, and you have to think 9 times before you file a case, quite frankly. But I'd like to say that overall, the Vance visit is not just about optics. It's not just about Usha and JD Vance having a lovely time in India as tourists. There is a lot of serious business to be discussed, and I think the Vances made a very, very lovely start to their voyage, their voyage on the shores of India by going to the Akshardham temple, and also they are visiting, I'm told, Jaipur. But the most important thing by far is the bilateral conversation he'll have with Prime Minister Modi, where the entire gamut of US-India relations is going to be discussed. And I can tell you, I am very hopeful the visit will end well. And the reason is that Indian students or whatever, they have been very instrumental in the growth of the United States technology. And if the United States want to keep ahead of China, they will need people from India. So I'd like to say that Trump is a practical man. He understands that. I mean, look, he ran so many enterprises, and many of the enterprises, quite frankly, I mean, whether they checked all the legal documents of people they were employing, I'm not saying Donald Trump, but those working under him, well, possibly not. So he's a practical man. JD Vance is the Vice President of the United States. That's not a small job. As Scott will tell you, who's a tremendously keen observer of the United States and India, if I may say so. I know that Scott loves India, and I hope he'll come here very soon. But the reality is, it's a very important visit. A lot of substantive issues will be discussed, but don't expect all of them to come on the front page. I mean, I am amazed to find some former diplomats saying that, oh, that hasn't been publicly expressed. So, very important. The fact is, a lot of things that are not publicly expressed are important, and that's something we need to remember. Thank you.